Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's Creatrix Conversations. Today, I'm going to be talking about song spells and vocal magic. And I'm really excited to talk about this. This is something that I'm really passionate about, and I'm starting to share more and more opportunities and events for us all to explore this. So I will introduce myself in case you are new to me. If you are new to this community, first of all, welcome. My name is Flora Ware, and I am a ceremonial priestess, a sacred musician, and a cyclic living teacher. And so through my sacred business and through my community, I love helping disconnected women hear their soul's voice and then begin to trust and express their soul's voice. And really, Earth Song Temple empowers women to reclaim their magic and to harmonize with sacred rhythms. And so that's what I'm all about. That's what we're all about. Hello, sisters. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today and tuning in. We're going to be talking about song spells and vocal magic, and I'm going to be sharing 5 of what I think are the top ways that you can start using your voice in your ritual workings, in your magic. And really 5 of the simplest ways that anyone can get started. And I want to make it clear too that this isn't just all about singing or chanting. I know that gets a lot of people feeling nervous, but just ways to use your voice in your ritual practices. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before I dive into all of that, I want to take this opportunity to make sure that you all know that on Monday, on Valentine's Day, which was also World Sound Healing Day, I shared my new website. And so, woohoo! This week, I'm celebrating the birth of my new website. And it's been an interesting astrological connection that I've really been sitting with, because Earth Song Temple was born last year on the 8/8 Lionsgate, which was also the Leo new moon. And so now, 6 months later, to have my own personal website, floraware.ca, be born on the Leo full moon, I've really been sitting with what is this Leo connection astrologically and archetypally. And this energy that's clearly supporting me and my business and is supporting all of us is, finding its way and fusing the Leo energy into all sorts of ways. And I really feel that it is a lot around that, being bold and confident in our expression, and that energy of the lion, or even like the lioness as like queen. And so I'm just kind of delighting in that, because it was not planned. that was just magic, synchronistic magic. And so to celebrate, hello, darling. So glad you could be here. So to celebrate my new website this week, I'm running a giveaway contest. A lot of people, you've already jumped in and played along. So all you need to do to get your name entered into the draw is to comment on one of my blogs. And so you can go here to my website. There you go. Comment on one of my blogs so that I know that you dropped by. And one comment equals an entry, and so you can comment multiple times and get multiple entries into my draw. And I'm going to be giving away one of my soul magic oracle readings. I value at $175. So this is a giveaway. I'm feeling generous to celebrate my new website. And I'm going to be announcing the winner in a live stream here. I don't know when I'm going to go, sometime Saturday morning. So get your comments in before midnight this Friday, And I will be announcing the winner in here on Saturday morning. And I just really want to thank you, all of you, for any time that you take to have a visit, check out my new online home, and to let me know that you visited by leaving a comment and playing along with my little giveaway. And if you do visit my my new site, you will also see my new one-on-one offer, which is vocal healing sessions. I've been started to get asked by a few women around this, and so I knew that this was time for me to share this kind of offer that, again, isn't just for singing, but is really around public speaking as well, and being confident and clear in our expression. So, like I said, I'm going to be sharing 5 ways that you can start to use your voice in your magical practice, in your rituals. And the first one is to say your prayers, your intentions, and your invitations out loud. You're probably laughing. You're thinking, okay, right, of course. But really, that is the first and easiest step that you can take to start using your voice in your ritual path workings. Because if you have become used to just doing everything in silence, right? Like meditating in silence, praying in silence, calling in your guides all in silence, right? And it's really easy to do, and there's no judgment. And of course, there is also a time and place for silence. I acknowledge that. Silence is also, it's powerful, it's amplifying. However, I'm here to encourage you to switch it up a little and consider, what if you called in your guides, your angels, any deities that you're working with, or ancestors that you're choosing to call in for that particular ritual, or even if we're calling in before a meditation, to speak your invitation to them out loud. What would that feel like, right? And if you're praying, you know, you're sitting there praying, what would it take for you to speak your prayer out loud? Even if you just whispered it, right? Once you really get down to the jewel of it, to pray out loud. And even as you begin a ritual, to state your intention for that ritual really clearly. And again, out loud. What would that be like? That's wonderful, sister. I love talking to my divine team. It's so powerful to speak it out. Yes, exactly. And like I said, I'm not telling you that now you should always speak out loud and do this. No. But what can you start to incorporate that more? Can you start to use your voice more, right? So say it out loud. Number 2, using your voice as another sacred tool to cast your circle, or to begin to help you ground and center. You might always have a certain crystal that you hold, or you may even have like a wand or an athame or some other sacred object, right? These physical tools and objects that you may love to work with. And again, that's beautiful. But remember, you also have this sacred tool, this sacred instrument. So you can cast your circle with your voice. You can tone some long notes to begin, or you could, again, like call in the directions or the elements by speaking out loud, if that's not something you normally do. You could just intuitively feel into, okay, like if you work with east being air, south being fire, west water, north and earth, which is, one tradition, and not all traditions have the same associations with directions and elements, but when you connect into that, what is the sound? Even if you're connecting with air and you just presence air by that audible breath, or you're presencing air. And then what does fire sound like for you in that moment, right? Have some fun with your expression. Let your intuition guide you. Another way that you can use it as a sacred tool is if you're releasing energy, release it with some sound. Or if you're raising energy, you use your voice to raise energy. Whatever is happening in your ritual, how can it be complemented or even amplified by using your voice? And again, I know that this can be like, well, maybe some of you are thinking, well, I could never do that. Like the rest of my family would hear me, or my roommates would hear me. So I get it. I get that there can be some nervousness. But boy, it feels good when we have a very clear channel and we're understanding our voice as another magical tool that we can work with in our rituals. My third suggestion for beginning to work with your voice is to listen. It's to listen for a melody or a rhythm that intuitively comes to you, that you can then pair with a prayer or a rhyme. So you weave your intent for the ritual or some prayer, listening intuitively. Like I said, it could just be a rhythm, right? It doesn't have to be a melody that, is like the notes together. You could just be here like something. This is just coming here. It's just like a rhythmic thing. And then it's like, I release everything that holds me back from expressing my truth. I release anything that is holding me back from expressing my truth. Right? So this is just what coming through right now. And I'm snapping my fingers, but you might have a drum, you could clap. You don't even have to keep the rhythm. But just starting to create that, this is the beginning of how we create what I'm calling song spells. I don't know. It's probably out there. There's nothing original anymore, but this is it. And so it doesn't have to be melodic. It could just be rhythmic, right? So if any of you are just, whoa, like singing, chanting is just too much of a stretch, just get into it so that you play around. You can play around and it becomes like a spoken word spell. Right? And for those of you that then you listen and you just hear maybe a little melody. Ooh, I release, or I call in, whatever it is, right? And just let yourself be in that musical magic. Susan, I'm so glad that you feel both challenged and inspired. That's exactly it. Yeah, Abigail, I'm glad you love it. I have no doubt that you could create something quite potent. We all can. We can create something quite potent when we listen, right? And then we just play. Let yourselves play vocally. Let that kind of spoken word or singing come around, and you're weaving your prayer, your intent, all of that together. Okay, so that's number 3, and it's really powerful. I was just doing this last night with my, I did candle magic last night because Leo is a fire sign. So I love bringing in the elemental correspondences when I can. So I decided to do a candle magic ritual more in depth than I've ever done before. And I was, it started out as spoken word and it was rhythmic, and then it turned into a song, and it was, it's really beautiful and powerful. So I'm walking the walk, walking the talk. and walking the walk to share these tips with you. All right, good. Number four, who loves crystals? You just give me some hearts. Who loves crystals? Because I know that most women in my community, we probably can't even count how many crystals we have, right? So crystals, you know, they're frequencies, they're holders of vibration. And I bring back this crystal. This crystal apparently wanted to be in this month's live stream as well, because last month in January, I shared with you that one of the ways that I was inspired to work with my word of the year, my seed word of 2022 is creativity. And so one of the ways that I wanted to further anchor that in was that I was at my local metaphysical shop, and they have little write-ups of all of their crystals and what they feel is the main, seed word or theme word for each crystal. And so I was introduced to bee jasper. It's a kind of jasper. It looks like a bee, and it's connected to creativity. So this crystal, like I said, it wanted to be in this Creatrix conversations again. Because any crystal that you have, you hold it, close your eyes, and sit with it and listen for a while. You'll hear something. You're going to hear something come through. And, you know, depending on how skeptical you are, maybe you're not actually hearing the vibration of the crystal, but the crystal is supporting your intuition in hearing some other channeled melody. Honestly, for me, it doesn't matter. When we're in the spiritual realm, like it, you know, what does it really matter? Oh, it's actually this or actually that. Just sit with a crystal and listen. Or sit with a flower and listen. Sit with your back against a tree and listen. The other thing is not just about listening, but you can choose a crystal. Now, some crystals are more designed to be record keepers than others, or like holders. But so I have my quartz crystal around my neck that I'm continually encoding with the Earth Song Temple frequencies. So I sing to this crystal. I had it right in front of me at my most recent singing circle on Sunday. So it got all of the vocal magic and song spells from that singing circle. And I've been wearing it every day. And a couple months ago in an intuitive reading, someone shared with me, I'm receiving the message that you have the ability to encode clear quartz crystals with messages, with frequencies. And when I received that, I was like, I'll admit, I was like, whoa, that feels like me? No, I can't do that. What? And then I had to sit with it. I was like, why do I think that I can't do that? Because crystals love it when you sing to them. And so that's also why now I'm segueing a little bit, but one of the gifts included in working with me in my new one-on-one vocal healing session, you'll receive an encoded quartz crystal from me that we actually will encode together in one of your sessions, and then you'll get to keep it. So there you go. So that's another way that you can start to work with your voice in your path workings is like, again, even if you speak to the crystal, and then it holds your intention, it holds your prayer, whatever it is, and then you keep it on your altar, right? But you can sing to it. Crystals love to be sung to, and then they hold that. They hold that in their vibrational nature. The fifth way that you can begin to start working with your voice, making these song spells, or just bringing your voice into your ritual is one that some of you will love that have a little bit more shyness around, singing, is to work with an existing song or a chant that you know that has a resonant message, right? With what you're, again, the intention of that you're holding. So if you know like a well-known chant, you don't have to listen and write your own if that just feels too beyond you. Or a recorded song, right? Nowadays there's just so much amazing, beautiful, devotional music out there that you can work with a song, right? So let's just say you're doing, okay, I know it's the full moon, but lots of us do like a new moon intention setting ritual. So let's say on a new moon, you're doing an intention setting ritual and you play a very specific song, like you've chosen it intentionally. The song itself holds a lot of the meaning that you're wanting to bring in, right? It feels very resonant. Continue working with that song throughout the lunar cycle, right? Like don't just play it once on the new moon and then forget about it, right? Just like we want to encode our message in some way and then have it on our altar, like on our altar being that energetic space that anchors it in. Play that song like every day as you continue to work with your intuition throughout that lunation, right? Or even if it was every other day, right? Because it will immediately bring you back into that energetic frequency of the ritual, right? So it'll keep on reminding you and bringing it back. So it will either you singing a known chant or playing a recorded song and keep on returning to it. Like you can just immediately come back to the power of the ritual that you did through the music, right? Or through the words of the chant. So I wanted to include that as definitely an easy way to work with vocal magic, but also like just music magic and sound healing in your path workings, because we have access to so much amazing music. And there's also lots of well-known chants out there that you can work with. So like I love to write songs and I listen and I channel the song. And I realize that not everyone has that inclination or that skill. So find a song. I mean, by all means, you can use one of my songs if it resonates, if you're doing a ritual on a holy day, but just find something and then continue to work with that. So those are my 5 suggestions. And of course, I'm aware of the energy of the pentacle in sharing 5 suggested ways to make magic with your voice and with sound. Yes, music can encode our conscious and subconscious minds with intention and healing. Exactly. So let's recap these 5 different ways that you can begin to use your voice, okay? And create these song spells and work with vocal magic in a way that's accessible for you, right? Like we always want to stretch ourselves a little bit, but often if we're stretching ourselves too far out of our comfort zone, then it's like we're distracted from the core intention. So number 1 is to simply speak your prayers, your invitations, and your intentions for your ritual out loud. So just say it out loud, sisters. What's your intention? Clearly state your intention for the ritual. Speak out loud your invitation to your deities, angels, ancestors, your spirit team. And you don't need to say them by name, right? Like you can just say, I now call in and welcome my spirit guides to be with me in this ritual. It can just be that, right? Number 2 is to recognize that your voice is also a sacred tool that you can work in creating the sacred space. So you can tone long notes to cast the circle, or to intuitively make sounds that connect with the directions or the elements. To, as you're creating the sacred space, work with your voice in any way that you are intuitively guided, right? Or to, you know, howl to raise the energy, right? Or to vocalizing to release the energy. Whatever you're working with in your ritual, how can your voice support that? Thank you so much, Abigail. I'm really glad you tuned in and clearly got some inspiration. Number 3 is to, once you are really in the ritual space that you've created for yourself, to listen. And this is where we do need silence, right? Dropping in, listen. Is there a melody or is there a rhythm that you can weave together with your prayer, with your intention, and to explore spoken word or singing your prayers, or spoken word, whatever it is. It really is, it's so powerful. And if you can put it in a rhyme, I mean, honestly, even better. And it feels fun, but it also feels really witchy and powerful. Yeah. Number 4 is working with crystals. So encoding, singing to your crystals, speaking to your crystals. Let your crystals hold, you know, be that record keeper, to encode them with your with whatever it is that you're wanting to encode them with, and then they anchor it and hold that energy on your altar, or in your pocket, or wearing it around your neck like this. So crystal singing. And actually, I forgot to say, like, you can also, if you have like a crystal singing bowl, I don't, I just have this Tibetan, but like, I mean, you can just play around with a lot of this stuff on your own. May all beings know peace and prosperity. Ooh. Right? Like maybe something like that will help support you in some exploration if you feel like you need the support of an instrument. Yeah. All right. And number 5 was to work with an existing song or a chant, perhaps recorded or not, just like a well-known chant that you know that is resonant to whatever it is that you're wanting to work with. And then you can play that song, or you can sing the song, and you can do it over and over again as you're continuing to work with that piece, and to to continue listening to it, to work with that recording over and over again. That will bring you back into the portal of power that you have opened with your ritual, and having that music support it and support what you are trying to manifest, or whatever you're trying to heal or release. All of that. So I hope these, clearly these 5 suggestions were very inspiring for some of you, challenging for others. Like I said, just if this is really challenging for you, if you're feeling a lot of like, whoa, you're simultaneously feeling, I would like to work with my voice more, but I'm scared, just pick one, right? Just start with the saying something out loud, using that powerful instrument that you have. It's the most personal and powerful instrument that we have for healing and for manifestation. And that is why I am so thrilled about my new one-on-one offer, Vocal Healing Sessions. This is 3 months of working with me intimately to heal whatever blocks you have around your throat chakra, and to liberate your voice so that you feel utterly confident in your expression, whether you want to do more public speaking and you want to grow your business through speaking, you want to feel more courageous in having conversations and improve your communication and your relationships. Or perhaps you are someone who is a sacred space holder and wants to use more song and sound in your ceremonies or in your events or working with your own clients, right? Whatever your reason is, if you know that you have some healing to do around your voice, that you want to work with me as both a professional singer and a priestess, because I bring a unique blend of skills and experience to this opportunity. So if you're interested, I am offering discounts and bonuses to the first 3 women who step in. And so I would love to chat with you. And so here's where to go. I put the link in the comment there. You can book in a time to chat with me. And of course, this is no obligation, no strings attached. Just let's chat and let's see if your goals are in alignment with what my new one-on-one vocal healing offer is. Okay? Because if this is singing to your soul, I want to talk to you, because I'm really excited. I'm energetically feeling these first 3 women, and I can feel you, sisters. You're right there. You're ready. You're wanting this, and you're just nervous. You're nervous to metaphorically unmute yourself. You want to unmute yourself. There's still a bit of nervousness around that. So I feel you, and I want to talk to you. And yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm just really thrilled. It's, as always, such an honor and a pleasure. Such a pleasure to spend this time together every month. I love the Creatrix conversations. So please, even if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment or ask any questions on this live stream. I will definitely be getting back to you. Tag me if you want to make sure that I see a comment or a question that you have. And you can also go there to book a connection call, or you can reach out to me privately in Messenger if you want to chat. All right? So, yay! Yes, I will see you soon, darling. So I hope that these have inspired you, and I cannot wait to hear more about how all of you are using your voice more in your rituals, using sound instruments maybe, and also singing or whispering to your crystals, and remembering how powerful your voice is. All right, blessed be.